welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're tackling something a lot of you ask about. How do you actually, make money from your YouTube channel?
Yeah, it's a big one.
We want to kind of cut through the confusion around YouTube's monetization rules. We've looked at the guidelines, the requirements, basically trying to give you a clear, actionable picture of how it all works.
Exactly. Turning that passion into income, that's the goal for many creators, right? So our mission here is to demystify it, lay out the steps, the important things to watch out for based on what we found.
Okay, let's jump right in then. What is YouTube monetization fundamentally for anyone maybe just starting out?
Well, in simple terms, it's the system YouTube has for creators to earn money from their videos.
Right.
And this happens in a few main ways. The most common one is probably ad revenue. Creators get a slice of the money from ads shown on their videos.
Those ads we all see, the pre-rolls, mid-rolls, what other ways are there besides the ads?
So the key really is getting into the YouTube Partner Program, the YPP. That opens up other ways to earn.
YPP.
Yeah. Things like channel memberships, where your audience pays a monthly fee for, like, special perks or content. Then there's Super Chat and Super Stickers during live streams. Viewers pay to highlight their messages. And you also get a share of the revenue from YouTube Premium subscribers who watch your stuff.
So that partner program, YPP, that sounds like step one. What do you actually need to do to get in? What are the requirements for 2025?
Yes, YPP is the gateway. As of 2025, you've got specific targets. First, you need at least 1,000 subscribers on your channel.
1,000, okay.
Second, you need 4,000 valid public watch hours. And that's within the last 12 months.
4,000 hours in a year. Wow.
It's a fair amount. Or alternatively, if you're doing a lot of shorts, you can qualify with 10 million valid shorts views in the last 90 days.
10 million shorts views.
Oh.
Okay, so there's an option there too. That sounds like a lot of work either way. Are there other things besides just hitting the numbers?
Oh, definitely. Hitting the numbers is just part one, really. Your channel also has to have 0 active community guideline strikes. Keeping your nose clean is vital.
Makes sense. No strikes.
You also need 2-step verification turned on for your Google account. That's a security thing.
Right.
And finally, you have to have a linked AdSense account. That's how YouTube actually pays you.
Okay, so subs, watch hours, or shorts views, no strikes, 2-step verification, linked AdSense. But getting those numbers, that doesn't guarantee approval, does it? Our sources say there's a review.
That's absolutely right. Meeting those thresholds just gets your foot in the door for an application. Once you apply, YouTube actually reviews your channel. They look at your content, your themes, everything, to make sure you're following all their policies before they say yes to monetization.
So even after all that effort to get the views and subs, you got to be playing by their rules. Let's dig into those policies then. What do you need to know to get approved, and maybe more importantly, stay approved?
Well, the absolute foundation is YouTube's community guidelines. These cover a huge range of stuff. Violating these won't just stop monetization. It could get your channel warnings, strikes, or even terminated.
And these guidelines cover things like?
Things like hate speech, harassment, graphic violence, dangerous content, misinformation. The list is pretty comprehensive, basically keeping the platform safe.
Right, basic safety and respect. What about copyright? That's always a big headache for creators online.
Huge. YouTube is very strict on copyright. You absolutely must only upload content you own yourself, or that you have all the necessary permissions and rights to use.
So no grabbing popular songs or movie clips without permission.
Exactly. Using copyrighted music or video without the proper licenses is a super common reason people get rejected or demonetized. It's a big red flag for them.
Okay, and it's not just copyright, right?
Yeah.
There's also this idea of advertiser-friendly content.
Precisely. They have specific advertiser-friendly content guidelines. This means even if your video doesn't break the main community guidelines or copyright rules, it might still be considered unsuitable for most advertisers.
Like what kind of stuff?
Think about really shocking content, adult themes, gratuitous violence, controversial issues, inappropriate language, basically anything that brands might not want their ads appearing next to.
Okay, that makes sense. Now, something interesting from our sources was this crackdown on repetitious content and reuse of content. What's the deal with those? They sound similar.
Yeah, they can overlap a bit. Repetitious content is usually about channels that just pump out very similar videos over and over with, like minimal changes. Maybe it's the same template, same music, slightly different text or images.
Like low-effort stuff.
Kinda, yeah. And reuse of content is more about channels that primarily use stuff made by others, maybe compiling clips or reading Reddit posts without adding much commentary, or just re-uploading stuff you found elsewhere, even if it's technically not copyrighted against you.
Yeah. So YouTube doesn't like that.
No. Their goal is to reward original creation. They want content that adds unique value, not just channels that recycle or slightly tweak what's already out there. They want creators putting in original effort.
And these policies, they change, right?
Yeah.
Sources mentioned updates, especially around Shorts monetization.
They do evolve, yes. And with Shorts, the trend seems to be pushing even harder on originality. Even in short form, they want unique ideas, unique value. It's kind of the theme across the board now. Add value, be original, don't just aggregate.
Okay. So given all these rules,
Yeah.
community guidelines, copyright, ad-friendly stuff, originality, what are the most common mistakes people make that lead to getting denied or losing monetization later?
Well, we've touched on a few big ones. Using copyrighted music without a license is probably number one. Super common.
Right. Music's tricky.
Very. Second, that reused content issue, uploading compilations or stuff that's mostly taken from other sources without significant original input, that trips a lot of people up. And then consistently making content that pushes the boundaries of the advertiser-friendly guidelines. Even if you don't get strikes, if advertisers constantly opt out, it can impact your monetization standing.
Okay, so pitfalls noted. How can creators actually navigate all this successfully? What's the practical advice for getting approved and, keeping that monetization going long term?
The absolute core advice is create original, engaging content. That's what YouTube wants to see. Pour your effort into making something unique that people want to watch.
Originality first. Got it.
And always, always credit your sources if you use any third-party material. More importantly, get permission, especially for music and video clips. Don't just hope you won't get caught.
Be thorough with rights and permissions. What else?
Avoid clickbait, misleading thumbnails, titles that don't match the content. That stuff can hurt your channel's reputation with YouTube and viewers. Not good for the long run.
Authenticity matters.
It does. Also, consistency helps. Uploading regularly, engaging with your comments, building a community. YouTube does seem to look at engagement as a positive signal.
Right. Build that audience connection. What happens if you do get rejected? Apply, meet the numbers, but they say no. Is game over?
Not usually, no. If you're rejected, YouTube generally tells you why. They'll point to the specific policies you violated.
Oh, they give feedback. That's good.
Yeah, it gives you a chance to fix the issues. You can edit or remove problematic videos, adjust your channel's focus, whatever's needed. Then after 30 days, you can reapply.
Okay, so there's a path back if you make changes. Good to know. So thinking bigger picture here, what's the main principle behind all these rules? What's YouTube really trying to achieve?
Well, it's kind of a balancing act for them. On one hand, they genuinely want to support creators and help them build careers on the platform. That's their lifeblood.
Sure.
But on the other hand, they have huge responsibilities to advertisers who pay the bills and to viewers to keep the platform safe and reliable. So these policies are their way of trying to manage that balance. Reward good creators, protect advertisers, keep viewers safe.
Makes sense. It's a whole ecosystem.
Exactly. And honestly, if you focus on following the rules, creating good original stuff people value, monetization is definitely achievable. It's not meant to be impossible.
And if listeners want the absolute latest official word on all this, where should they go?
Best bet is always the official YouTube monetization policies page on their site. It gets updated. And the YouTube Creator Help Center and community forums are also really valuable. Lots of info and discussion there.
Right. Go straight to the source. So wrapping this up then, our deep dive shows it starts with hitting those numbers, subs, watch hours, or shorts views, plus the basics, no strikes, secure account, linked AdSense.
Yep, the prerequisites.
But the real core is playing by the rules.
Yeah.
Copyright, ad friendliness, and maybe most importantly now, focusing on originality.
Yeah.
No repetitive stuff, no just reusing other people's work.
That's the key takeaway, really. Original, valuable content is what they're prioritizing. If you understand the rules and focus on creating that kind of quality work, your chances of monetizing successfully are much, much better.
Which brings us to a final thought for you listening. Now that you have a maybe clearer picture of these policies, how might that actually change how you think about your content strategy, how you plan your videos going forward? Something to consider for the long haul on YouTube. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.